As the Elimination Chamber pods are slowly being unlocked, we now know the first, last, and maybe newest entrant, so who will be rendered obsolete? Plus, we found out who has a better singing voice than Elias, and he'll gladly make sure you get these hands.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I want that to play every time I make an entrance in a room. Just the laugh.
I loved everyone's reaction, though, when it started playing. We all just kind of made like an ugly face.
It's disturbing.
It's a bit shocking.
It's a little shocking.
It's a little shocking.
And it takes a lot to shock you.
Oh, yeah.
Of all people. You've seen it all.
Yes.
You've done most of it.
I've seen Hardy in person at his most broken, right before he came to WWE. And
Sure.
It is quite a shock.
Yeah.
There's something otherworldly about him.
It's an
Just
experience.
Seeing him, he's got this aura around him. It's the energy that he gives off is like nothing else.
Well, there's a great energy in this room tonight. Yeah, you can feel it. And I think everyone watching, everyone listening knows it right now. Let's get into it. Here we are, guys. This is the Raw After Show on AfterBuzz TV. Welcome in. We have we're almost there at Elimination Chamber, less than 2 weeks away. Let's get right into it. Big show to review. I'm Johnny LaQuasto. Check me out at jQuasto on social media. The lovely lady across from me, you see her all the time on X-Pac 123, as well as the pay-per-view after shows panels, and on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. She is bilingual. She'll interview in Spanish or English and do a great job at both. Follow her everywhere at _ Denise Salcedo. She's Denise Salcedo.
Thank you, Johnny. I love how you threw all of that in there. I was like, yes, that's me. Yeah.
A never-ending just information overflow. How's it going? Welcome to the show.
It's going awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. Like, I think I knew like a day before, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm doing Raw. Nice.
Yeah. Dig in the hair, by the way.
Thank you. I kind of hate it, kind of love it. It depends on the day.
Now, it's way darker. Am I correct?
No, actually, it's not. Everyone thinks that. Everyone thinks I dyed my hair. I think it's just the cut. It's so weird. Don't ask me how it happened.
Digging it.
If you really hate it, you should shave it. The whole thing.
Don't hate it that much.
Shave your head.
That's your answer to everything?
Well,
just get rid of it all.
I mean, it works for tease, fleas, ticks, chiggers, bad haircuts.
Which you've all experienced, all those, I think.
Running from the law.
Right. Fair enough.
Shave it all. If you're running from the law, just everything goes.
Or put it up in a bun.
No. Because if you have hair, it's still going to look like the most recent picture of you.
Okay.
That's why you see a lot of these survivalists, they have a lot of hair.
Right.
So if, the bad stuff goes down, you just take a buzzer, shave it all off, and the law ain't going to recognize you. At least not as easy.
And from what I understand, you study survivalists.
Oh, yeah, I'm a survivalist.
You
myself,
are? Okay.
yes.
I wasn't sure if you would officially call yourself one.
Robert Baines is a survivalist. It's
sure.
The name, that is my name and the name I've chosen to use.
Your given name, sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Going forward.
Fair enough. Well, the gentleman that is sitting to my left, he's a former Hollywood Heritage Champion for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, wrestled all over the globe. You can follow him everywhere at True Hobo. Some may know him as Robert Baines. I know him as the Hobo. That's the person that I know and love. Yep. But hey, I'm not about to deny you anyone, Robert
there
Baines.
are still people who want to hire the Hobo to wrestle for them and their companies. Yesterday, I was down in Holtville, California, near the Mexican border, wrestling at a little independent show called Carrot Mania.
Mexicali.
Yeah,
okay.
just outside of Mexicali, Holtville, Carrot Mania. They have a huge carrot festival because that's their bumper crop for the year.
Get out.
So they have a carrot festival.
Did they have carrot juice, I hope?
I did not get my hands on any, but I have to imagine. I mean, as we're traveling inward, we see huge trucks, and I mean dumpster-sized trucks full of carrots.
Wow.
I mean, it's no BS. There's a lot of damn carrots.
Okay.
And they wanted professional wrestling, so they hired myself and a couple of other people I have trained. And
how was the audience? Was it
pretty good? Pretty good. They were excited. They were present.
No, I just picture everyone had a carrot in their hand.
No, unfortunately, not everybody. But everybody had tacos. That's the one thing I can say. There was a plethora of tacos.
So Carrot Mania featuring tacos.
Yes.
That sounds like my kind of party.
Yeah, they gave us free tacos.
Okay.
Can't turn down a free taco.
I have to say this. I drove overnight, Saturday into Sunday, 6 hours in a snowstorm to get to Chicago O'Hare Airport to fly back to get the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood in time. It was the weirdest 24 hours I've had in quite some time. Like, I'm talking bad snowstorm. I'm talking no one else on the road except tractor trailers whipping by me as I'm like going 30 miles an hour in a rental-car without insurance. I'm like, keep it steady, keep it steady. And I finally got there like 6 a.m.
Nice.
So are you the one that brought the rain today to California? Because it hasn't rained in a long time until today.
You're welcome. I may have. It was hectic. I knew I had to drive overnight. I just was hoping that snow wasn't going to hit, but that storm in the Midwest still there. And luckily I made it. And thank you everyone in Fort Wayne. It was so fun doing the shows. Louisville this weekend, which we'll get to. But let's get to some wrestling. Marquia McCarty, by the way, is on another assignment tonight, but I guarantee you're going to be able to watch her do that very, very soon. I'm not sure if it's live or it's going to be posted later, but make sure you follow her at Marquia McCarty and she'll tell you all about it. And also, right off the top, our very good friend, Jay Washington, who's been on AfterBuzz a number of times. He's also one of the Wrestling and Padres. He had a medical issue last week. Unfortunately, he needed emergency surgery with his throat, and he still has a trachea. I went to see him today, but he's improving. He's up. He's moving around a little bit. I don't know when he'll be out of the hospital, but we do have a GoFundMe set up for him. So go to my Twitter, and I believe AfterBuzz may post it as well. But if you look at my Twitter, you see the link there if you want to help him out. He's got quite a recovery ahead of him, but we're all supporting him, and also show him your love on social media, Mr. J Washington. Let him know you're thinking about him. So now we get to Raw.
It's a terrible curse for a guy who makes his living speaking to actually have a throat issue of this caliber.
It was shocking, to say the least. I didn't know what happened until after I'd left town. And yeah, it was just a really unlucky abscess on the throat that closed the entire airway that they had no choice but to go in. And when you have an abscess, if you don't load up with antibiotics, you're in deep trouble.
Yeah. Humans are fragile. Very fragile.
Yeah, but he's going to recover, and so he's on his way. But if you can, go support him. So starting off Raw, John Cena hits the Elimination Chamber, talking all about it. Says he has to win because if he doesn't, he may not have a WrestleMania for the first time in 15 years. Now, we know that's not going to happen, but that's very interesting.
It's highly undoubtful that we would not see John Cena on a WrestleMania. I mean, that would be like super weird. But hey, it's the year of The Miz apparently, so that's cool too.
I'm not going to deny that.
No, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And the product we watch and review every single week hinges on how well The Miz does weekly. Mm-hmm. It is truly, the show basically revolves around the man himself, and that is the truth.
Yeah, and I'm not mad about it.
No, he understands his role, and he has no problem grabbing the reins and making his presence felt every single week. Every time he's on screen, every time he grabs the microphone, he makes the most of every opportunity, and those opportunities have increased in numbers so frequently, and he never misses the chance to own that screen and that time for himself, which means he gets even more.
You absolutely are correct. You were going to say, Denise?
No, yeah, I was going to say that's really is The Miz. Like, I feel like every year that we have seen him in the business, he has grown so much more. And I kind of like that he's kind of that spearhead when John Cena can't do certain events for WWE.
Oh, yeah.
He's that person that's there. So I kind of feel like that's really great to see him do that in the company.
I agree. And The Miz does hit the ramp and says he's going to win Elimination Chamber, and it won't be the first time he's beaten Cena, just like he did when he main evented WrestleMania. And he's always been smarter, and he says he's still smarter than Cena. And he's like, all right, fine. Challenge me tonight. The loser enters the chamber first. Of course, The Miz says no. Miz Taraj attacks. Kurt Angle hits the ramp and said, you know what? I like this match idea. Whoever loses does enter the chamber first. But Miz Taraj, get out. Kicks him out. And then they have the match, even though Cena's already attacked.
It's not exactly fair, but at least it levels the playing field going forward.
Kurt Angle makes some odd decisions.
Yeah, okay.
Not always with the most logic, but...
I mean, this seemed logical. This decision, hey, you guys who just jumped a guy, you can get out now.
Yeah.
You can leave. You're not allowed to come back.
But I was thinking he was going to make the match for later in the show, but Kurt's like, yeah, you've seen his down, but yeah, right now, let's ring the bell.
That seems a little odd. We're already here.
Well, hey, fantastic match. I mean, we had a skull-crushing finale, we had an attitude adjustment, and of course, what does it take? It takes an AA from the second turnbuckle from Cena. He wins, so now we know The first entrant in the chamber is going to be The Miz, and the last entrant will be Elias.
Yeah, that was a pretty dope finish. I really enjoyed that. I was like, oh, nice to see that, you know. A nice finish for Raw, I think. It was a good match. It went like, what, like 15, 20 minutes, which was nice to see. So, honestly, I can't complain about this match. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it really was. And so, yeah, it seems like the Elimination Chamber is all clear. But let's wait a little bit.
What I liked about this match in particular is the both opponents were going for so many pinfalls and pin attempts. It actually, for me, sealed in the importance of this match overall. This match was the gateway to who gets the first spot in the Elimination Chamber, which then may cement someone's going to main event WrestleMania. So it is absolutely imperative for somebody to get a victory, no matter how quick it may be, and that is why we saw so many pinfall attempts during this match. They wanted to win. The will to win was definitely present, and it absolutely led this match.
And someone else who has a will, usually to win, but a will to do a lot of strange things, that'd be Matt Hardy, and he makes a statement saying he's going to turn Elimination Chamber into the Deletion Chamber and will render everybody else obsolete. Now, those words to me mean a lot, because this past weekend, he officially got control of all things broken from Impact Wrestling officially. And WWE, I believe, even made the purchase. They made a deal with TNA or Impact, whatever you want to call it, to where they can get the Hardys collection from their time there.
Really interesting. So they're actually paying for the library.
As far as I know, yeah.
But just for that section of library.
I believe so.
Interesting.
But now Hardy has complete control over everything he ever said in TNA as the broken character. And I think we're going to see a lot more of it. Like, you know, he hasn't said obsolete a whole lot. Yeah. And that was one of the favorite words of his. So,
well, it's going to take time. I think it's been a slow reveal during his time in WWE. They were the Hardy Boys for the longest time. Jeff gets hurt, then eventually he becomes Woken, and it's very slow and methodical. It's not instantaneous. It's not right away. They're making people want to see it. They're giving them a little bit of at a time, because if you give them too much, they may sort of, the people who aren't used to it and ready for it may sort of buck and not want to see it as much.
Denise, did you get a chance to watch the whole Broken saga when he was in Impact?
I watched parts of it, and honestly, like, that was the argument that a lot of people have had, that, you know, obviously with WWE it was going to be like more like hyper production and whatnot, not done in that kind of, like, I guess you can say, like, lower rent in terms of production, which is kind of what gave it that, like, extra, like, oomph that everybody liked in TNA. So I think that I was, you know, for me, I kind of feel like here at WWE, it's not, obviously not going to be the same. It's not translating as well. And I kind of feel like the fans are kind of just like over it, because maybe, you know, they didn't get to see it like right away when he came in. Like, we were seeing it here and there. We weren't really sure if it was going to really happen because of everything else that was going on. And now with them having, you know, all the rights per se, I think that's great, because I love that. I love that somebody can keep their, I guess you can say, the creative license. And then with Jeremy Borash coming in, I'm sure he's going to have some input, which we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
That's just my estimation. So I kind of feel like this is now the point where they can kind of, where Matt Hardy can kind of prove, like, hey, this was my thing, and now I'm going to be able to show it and, you know, advance with it, and so on and so forth.
You're saying he could re-break himself, perhaps?
Maybe. I don't know.
I see your point.
Just think, I feel like maybe now he can kind of bring it to life maybe the way he wanted to originally coming into the WWE, something similar to what we had in Impact. But I just kind of feel like right now the fans aren't all really there for it.
Well, I think it's hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice. And what they did with, I said flat out, 2016, the best thing in professional wrestling was Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero and the whole saga and the stuff they produced. I mean, from the Final Deletion to Apocalypto. I mean, these were geniusly produced broadcasts, and they were by far the most entertaining thing in wrestling. You can't really try to recreate that. You just have to try to find other incarnations, if that's the right word, I guess.
Well, you have to further it. You can't do the same things over again. You can't repeat history. You can only serve to further history and create something new, rather than trying to simply recapture what was old.
Yeah.
And that will be the test for the creative team that is surrounded with or saddled with this.
I mean, I've been saying all along, Wyatts have a compound, the Hardys have a compound. Use them. You know, you have the ability, you have the camera equipment, you have the production quality behind it. Do something. Maybe this is what we're going to see at WrestleMania. We could have some strange match that's maybe better than House of Horrors. That could be part live, part filmed. That could be incredible. Because
we'll see. I mean, I understand how the company operates, and my hopes aren't the highest.
Right.
But yeah.
Who knows? I'm happy seeing Matt and anything that he does, to be honest. Gallows and Anderson have the Nerdometer talking about the Revival, and basically the Nerdometer just explodes because Revival are a bunch of nerds. As they come to the ring, Revival attacks from behind. They end up having a tag team match, and the Revival pulling off a big win with the Shadow Machine. A lot of people, they say they've been kind of slow on their return, kind of struggling a little bit. So this is a big win for them, and it's kind of putting them both at 50-50 right now between the two teams.
I'd say the Revival still managed to be the most intelligent tag team. Even tonight, they were able to maneuver and outmaneuver the club. They're very quick, and it goes to show that you don't need a whole lot of fancy moves in order to actually produce something of quality in ring, as the Revival do with consistency. And I think that they will slowly start to gain an edge, and that they will garner wins more frequently here. I don't think the club necessarily needs it. They have Finn Balor, and I think they serve to bolster him, or will soon enough. So I think they're in a good spot. I think everybody's okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, bottom line is as long as Revival's healthy, I think that's the best case scenario, considering the issues they've had. And, of course, Sheamus and Cesaro still tag team champs. Now, we got to get to this right away. I want to get your opinion on this, Denise. So Kurt Angle gets in the ring and makes the announcement that, well, before he talks about Jason Jordan, which, by the way, San Jose, come on. Why you got to boo when people get hurt? Yeah. Like, just, I don't know if that was part of Kurt Angle's script. I don't think it was. I think that was him speaking from the heart. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself if you're booing people getting hurt. Come on. Anyways. He mentions Ronda Rousey will sign her contract for Raw at Elimination Chamber. Huh?
Yeah, I know. I kind of thought it was a little weird because they had already said, like, oh, she's here, she's signed, all of that stuff. It's all over the place, and now she's barely going to sign her contract on TV. So it's like, maybe they should have maybe done it in reverse. I don't know.
But Raw, I mean, so signing a Raw contract, is she ready to be on Raw? Like,
I think she's signing a match contract. She's not signing a brand contract.
I thought it was a brand contract.
No, I think this is the match contract.
So then we all got our nickels not straight on that one, because I thought that they had said that she was going to do like her official signing.
That's what I thought.
That's how I understood it, but I could be wrong. But that's kind of how I understood that.
Obviously, they weren't very clear. If we are all having a difference of opinion on this, then they aren't being terribly clear about it, and I think that's on them. Or it's them trying to simply lead with a bit of intrigue. What is Ronda Rousey actually signing?
Chat roll.
What is she trying to accomplish?
Chat roll is saying it's a brand contract.
Is it?
Yeah. Which is strange to me because I don't know how much she's been training. I think a match contract.
I know she has.
I think a match contract would make much more sense.
Yes.
She didn't have an opponent yet, but
I think she had been training at the Performance Center since like what, October?
She's been training before that. She's been training for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, so she's going to be doing her brand contract then, since that's what everybody's saying that.
Okay.
I mean, Raw and SmackDown are both live, so they're essentially the same there. But when it comes to, I mean, Raw's the flagship. I get it, but at some point you got to let SmackDown get one of these big people, right?
Well, it certainly leaves a lot of intrigue as far as what the women's matches at WrestleMania are going to be. If we have both Ronda Rousey and Asuka on the same show, there's only one title. So does Asuka want the Raw brand, or does she want SmackDown brand? Because she could jump.
She technically hasn't made that decision, I guess.
Right. And if Ronda Rousey is coming to Raw, then Asuka could move to SmackDown and jump.
Yeah. Do you guys, what does it say, though? What kind of message does it send if Ronda Rousey challenges for one of the main titles at WrestleMania? I don't think that's the right way to go.
I just think there's room for both of them on Raw, because I kind of feel like it isn't Ronda's time yet to go for the title. I kind of feel like she's there just for in terms of like appearance right now, but I still don't think she has earned her spot to go for the title because there's been other girls that have been like vying for it each and every other week, and so then they just have somebody because coming in because they have a big name to win the title is a slap in the face for all the rest of the girls.
That's how wrestling works, though.
Yeah.
If you're a bigger brand name and you appeal to more people, you get the shot.
Well,
that's how wrestling works.
That's how entertainment works. Look, I can't tell you how many YouTubers and Viners are getting booked at comedy clubs now, even though they can't do stand-up.
Right.
A comedy club's like, oh, can you sell tickets? Okay, go up and spew garbage for 45 minutes and have people walk out. That
business
happens.
is
Am I angry?
business.
No, I'm not angry at all. But it happens.
I think we can all join your boat on that one, trust me.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think you don't need Ronda to be competing for a title. It's already going to be an attraction to begin with. So have two women who are ready for that title and then have Ronda do something else.
She came out and pointed at the sign. She's going to be at
sure.
WrestleMania.
And I'm
but
down.
We still don't know in what capacity. We all had the assumption it was going to be for a championship because that's the vibe that it gave off. That's the moment they had her come out was when they finally crowned the first women's Royal Rumble winner, and it was Asuka. And then the next person out was Ronda Rousey, which led everyone to believe that Ronda Rousey was going to contend for a title.
The way I see it is that no matter what, like we said, Ronda has the name, she has a following, and all of this stuff. So I think in whatever form of her being at the show is enough to draw, obviously. So later on in the future, she could definitely go for the title, but this is just not the time right now.
And who knows, that contract signing at the Chamber, you got to believe could lead to what her match will be. Who knows? But I'd like to see maybe a mixed tag or something to where it doesn't put a ton of pressure on her, because WrestleMania is the biggest stage of them all. And then this is your first match? Like, good God.
That too. I don't think they're just going to throw her in if she's not necessarily, like, ready. So they're going to want to protect her and make sure that, you know, when she gets in there, she's ready, or else, you know, the fans are just going to, like, rip her.
Exactly.
I don't necessarily agree with that because there's multiple ways to protect somebody.
Right.
But you don't have to not have them. It's
gotta put her in,
complicated.
You got to put her in a good situation, though.
Yeah. Well, there's different sides to everything.
How do you define a good situation?
I don't think necessarily
good is business.
No, I'm talking about if she's one-on-one for a title, though. I just think that what is that to the rest of the roster who've been scratching and clawing to get? And I know you say that's her. I get it, but at the same time, you don't need. She's going to draw money regardless, whether there's a title or not.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know,
I watch NXT every week. I've been watching NXT every week for a long, long time. They sign people all the time that jump the line and get on television first. That is normal. Yes, no, for real.
Yeah.
They sign people and right away they're put up on television.
Oh, sure.
There are more people.
Established wrestlers, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there are more people in the Performance Center that have been there longer, who arguably deserve it more, but because they have the name, they get to jump the line. Wrestling's not fair.
Right.
But that's a little bit different because I feel like the guys that have, like, granted, there's some that should, you know, be on the main roster, but the ones that they have been brought up to the main roster, a lot of them, they didn't have like a long-lasting wrestling career where it was different. And I feel like their case is different from the Ronda Rousey case, you know, because Ronda was, you know, in fighting, and they're obviously doing wrestling where they were big somewhere else, like in TNA or in the independent scene. I feel like it's two different things.
I disagree.
Fair enough. That's good to disagree. I mean, I see your point about NXT, though. You got all the Ring of Honor guys that came in. You know, previously you had Bobby Roode and Austin Aries, and you know, but the guys like that, they had the pedigree, and obviously in professional wrestling. But that remains to be seen over the next couple of weeks. Anyway, Seth Rollins hits the ring and says he wants it to be Monday Night Rollins again. He wants Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and he convinces Kurt to add him to the Fatal 4-Way tonight to make it a Fatal 5-Way. And Kurt's easy to convince, and so the audience was about it. And so now, Fatal 5-Way, main event tonight. Winner goes to the Elimination Chamber.
I mean, Kurt was happy to appease. He wanted to give something to Rollins. He offered him another tag team partner, and he didn't. Rollins did not accept because I think he's had enough tag team wrestling for the moment.
Yep. And Joseph Boza with a good comment in chat roll. Shayna Baszler just have her third match, and she's getting her second chance. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right.
Same exact stuff.
You are correct.
No difference.
You are correct. I mean, Shayna's been wrestling longer than Ronda, of course.
Professionally, yes.
But still, I see your point there. All right, Bray Wyatt says he's going to feast on everyone's remains. He's going to win the chamber for the second year in a row. Sasha Banks Bayley Fantastic match here. Bayley to belly from the turnbuckle for the win. And as they're more or less showing a sign of respect to each other, Nia Jax just pancakes them both. So let's go to the match first. Denise, your thoughts on that one? Because Bayley with a big win.
Yeah, two things. First of all, I think that I'm glad that Bayley won because I feel like she kind of really needs it right now. And I mean, it's no surprise that, you know, Bayley hasn't exactly been able to live up to everything that we expected her to when she hit the main roster. I kind of felt a little bad that when she came out, it wasn't until that they actually announced that she was from San Jose that she actually got her big pop, because I feel like maybe a lot of people either A, forgot, didn't care, but I expected the second that Bayley like music hit for people to be like, oh, it's Bayley, it's our girl, our hometown hero, you know? I kind of feel like it took a second for that to happen. So that worries me a little bit for Bayley. And I feel like this is, honestly, this is it right now. Like, they really need to turn her heel. Honestly.
Bayley?
Yes, Bayley. Because
Okay.
I feel like,
That's
I know a lot of
interesting.
people think that Sasha is going to be the one that turns.
I agree.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just think that Bayley needs it right now because she's still, because Sasha still has the baby face going for her. So I feel Bayley doesn't have it right now.
It'd be a hell of a swerve.
So honestly, I really hope that it happens for Bayley.
So, Mr. Boxcar Superstar, do you think, because you know, you've been in the business quite a long time,
Yep.
you understand it takes a certain ability to pull off certain character. Does Bayley have? And now a lot of people never would have thought Alexa Bliss would have been a great heel, and she is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So do you think Bayley has what it takes to, if they decide to make that change? I'd be all about it. It'd be great to see that, but I just don't know.
I wouldn't be. We don't have enough clean-cut good guys. And Bayley is, without a doubt, in reality and in the ring, a clean-cut sweetheart.
Right.
She's a great person.
When she left NXT, people were saying we have a female John Cena on our hands.
Yes.
And over the last, I don't know if fans have gotten. Well, fans are just so jaded now. That's the
Yeah,
hard part. Like, she's
they
done
are.
nothing wrong.
No.
It's just
And
fans
I'd
are just
say
jaded.
tonight she showed a lot.
I agree.
Especially in somebody who she knows so well, Sasha Banks, who is more or less from the same area.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, I'd say, a couple of hometown heroes. I mean, she's billed as from Boston, Sasha Banks, but she really got her start in professional wrestling in Southern California.
Right.
And so this I think showcased perfectly exactly who these two individuals are. You know, Sasha Banks, who is gifted but a little bit lazy and is willing to take a cheap shot over hard work, and Bayley, who works incredibly hard, tries to get the victory, and hits really hard. My favorite moment of this match was when she blasted Sasha Banks with a lariat. I mean, just nailed her. And she looks over and kind of smiles at her like, how did that feel?
Yeah, right?
And that's Bayley. She wants the competition. She likes to work hard.
She likes getting hit.
That's what she enjoys, and she gives it back. And she did give it back tonight. I think some of the writing has hamstrung her, and that's the reason she hasn't been able to really catch on. But she works really hard, and she's genuine. And those are the only two things you need in professional wrestling. You don't even need skill.
You can just be genuine.
You just be genuine.
If you connect with people,
And that is what she does.
Yeah.
The writing hamstrings it a little bit, but that is what she does. She doesn't need to turn heel. We don't need another heel.
I agree.
Because Sasha Banks is neither one or the other.
It would be a
It's always
swerve,
situational.
and that's why it would be entertaining. But yeah, she is.
What purpose would it serve?
Right, she is all that is good, and so I see your point there. And there aren't that many people that are good at it anymore,
Yeah.
in general, in society. So yeah, Nia Jax destroys them both and says that she is going to break Asuka's streak. She's the only one that could do it, and it's been going on for almost 2 years. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns backstage, kind of joking around about the Rumble, about how Roman eliminated Seth, and he's going to do the same thing at Elimination Chamber. Sheamus comes up, makes fun of him, and then Roman makes fun of Cesaro's braces, and so they ran into the Shield, and that's why his teeth got all jacked up, and that was adorable.
Very funny.
Yes. Titus Worldwide. Cruz can't lose. That's the calculation that was done. And he's going to take a small step for Apollo Crews, but a giant leap, I should say, for Titus Worldwide. He's also in the Fatal 5-Way tonight. I really enjoyed this between Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. Mickie makes every segment better. She's just such a natural on camera. She's got so much more experience. And Alexa's a natural on camera. You put them both together, you know, Alexa being genuine, Mickey's like, all right, cool. What do you want? Like
Genuine.
Biscuit butt.
You say genuine.
it looked genuine to me.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
No, but that's what was great about it. She's legit seemed genuine.
Right, but seemed.
That's my point,
genuine.
though. A lot of people, you can tell when they're fake genuine. I thought Alexa was so good at it.
That's why she's dangerous.
See? There you
She's
go.
an operative. She
That's
works
great.
both sides to serve the middle, to serve her own interests.
Mm-hmm.
She's incredibly brilliant. She's a saboteur.
Wow, that's a word I've never used.
Saboteur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
very
this.
bad.
Would you call her a saboteur?
I would actually, the way I used her to describe it is I feel like she's every sassy, bratty little girl. And I agree with this because I relate so much to Alexa Bliss's character.
Okay.
And I feel like every sassy, sarcastic meme that you've seen out there is Alexa Bliss. That is her character. And you just can't help but to root for her. And I love this together because we already know what happened with her and Mickey, where she was calling her old and giving her adult diapers and all of this stuff.
Jesus.
So how do you exactly apologize for that? You don't. So it's really awkward, and she played it off so hilariously where she was like, hey, you know I said these things about you, but hey girl, hey, kind of deal.
I like it.
So I love this interchanging with the both of them. I thought it was pretty funny.
When you have two people together who know their characters and know how to deliver and know how to act, it makes for great chemistry, and they definitely have it. In the match, maybe not so much, because Absolution took care of them rather quickly. Mandy Rose with the win on Mickie James. I'm not sure what the name is that she has for that finishing move.
Well, neither do I, but
Yeah.
it was effective.
She's powerful,
She's
for sure.
yeah, deceptively strong. You look at her and you think, well, she's pretty, but she's also got a lot of horsepower under the hood.
She definitely does.
Yeah.
So yeah, Absolution with another win, and you know, Paige is not even getting involved in these matches. Obviously, she's injured. That's what I wonder is. I would assume she can't even mess around at the ring as far as like causing interferences, and she hasn't been.
I'm sure
She
you
has
gotta be
been, you're right.
careful. You just never know these days. Like anything could happen. So I guess you'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
They should give her a little bit more, not necessarily in ring, but maybe backstage, speaking for them. Be a general.
Absolutely.
Let her be the linchpin that holds this team together.
I mean-
and it is a team, and that's exactly why Alexa and Mickey lost tonight, because they were wrestling a team, an actual team.
Sure. And I really, yeah, for sure. And, you know, I think Paige down the road, she can be, you know, on commentary. She could be a powerful manager who does speak quite a bit. So hopefully there's something, because people want to see her on camera, and just it's very unfortunate with the injury. Maybe someday she can return. That remains to be seen. It's Elias time. He starts to sing, and then, oh, God, I love this so much. Braun Strowman with a stand-up bass breaks it in about 27 seconds. And then he sings, and he sings better than Elias.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, honestly. I even tweeted that. I was like, he should audition for The Voice. I mean, yeah, he has to learn how to play an instrument, but what I thought was funny, well, two things. I thought that it was funny that he came out with this super giant instrument, which the stand-up bass, which I just called it the big giant violin because I don't know about instruments.
I prefer to call that a big giant violin.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was really funny, but then at the same time, I thought like how hilarious would have been had they given him like a little tiny violin or like a really small instrument just because he's this big, huge guy.
Braun Strowman plays the ukulele.
Yeah, but this was hilarious, man. And when he hit him with the stand-up, with the, I keep wanting to call it the proper name, but I can't, with the big giant violin, like you can
Yep.
tell that was like, that was not an easy thing to take.
No, that would break
Yeah.
a normal man.
He did smash it over Elias's body after power slamming him, but this was gold, and it was so weird because I mean, Braun Strowman can do anything at this point.
No, he can be funny. He can be terrifying.
Right.
He can be ridiculous, both in a serious fashion and a comedic fashion. Yeah, there is no lack of things that he can do, because he had that moment where he's singing and it's very funny, and then he power slams Elias and looks dead into the camera, and you go, "Oh, I still don't want to mess with him. I still don't want any part of that."
That's the best part about it, is like, who saw this coming? And then he's got a decent voice. Like he's been
I'll bet he's one of
crooning.
those guys who sings in the car. You're driving a lot as a wrestler. You got to pass the time somehow and stay awake. I think he's a guy who sings in the vehicle. That's the best way to get practice.
He knows how to. Yeah, he knows how to enjoy himself.
Yeah.
I wonder if this means we're going to see more of him singing now that everybody likes his voice.
Well,
can at least tolerate it.
I mean, maybe with Alexa, because the
In a
vignettes
funny,
that he'd been
playful
doing
way.
with them had been great.
I just found this so incredibly, and then of course he threw the catchphrases in. I'm not finished with you, and to get these hands, like, gosh, I don't know. I'm smitten. What
Yeah,
else is
I
there to
think
say?
everybody else is.
Yep.
I think he's by far one individual on the roster that everybody likes. There's really not a lot of differing opinions on Braun Strowman.
It's because when you first see him, when he first came on the scene, you're like, all right, here's another one-dimensional, massive dude. Because most of them are one-dimensional. You only have one Big Show in a generation.
Well, when you're very big, you don't need a lot of personality. That's how
Exactly.
nature works.
Exactly. Like I said, there's only one Big Show every generation. Everyone else is just huge. And then all of a sudden, Braun Strowman shows different sides of him every single chance he gets. Thank you, Tone.
There it is.
See, it didn't even scare me this time. So talk about Braun. Anyways, I mean, we can go on and on. We don't have the time, though. But Finn Balor says he's going to reclaim what he never lost, the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. There was some hitting going on in this match. There was he caught Roman's spear into the white noise. Roman eventually tosses Cesaro over the barricade. And then a super spear on Sheamus for the win. Sheamus going off the top rope. Bam.
All that impact in slow motion really just sends home how destructive that maneuver was because of the time that it was hit. Maybe if Sheamus was standing and had both feet planted, he may have been okay, but because he hit him out of midair, the head snap, it looked like a absolute car wreck, 60 miles an hour to 0 in no time at all. I mean, the head snap, it was brutal, and that's how you put somebody down. You have to take advantage of moments when your opponent is off balance, and this did that perfectly. Because these are two guys who love to hit each other. They just love to slug away on each other all day, and as such, they're tough. They're really toughened up to most everything. Roman Reigns kicks out of the white noise. Sheamus kicks out of the Superman punch, I think it was, and it's just one of those things of you have to find new ways to beat guys who are tougher than your average opponent.
You do. Yeah, so Reigns with the win, and, this doesn't really have any bearings on Elimination Chamber per se, but hey, it was there. It was a great match. Moving on to the Fatal 5-Way, the main event. Cruz versus Rollins versus Wyatt versus Balor versus Hardy. Got all five. Mostly insanity. Cruz on fire for a lot of it. Sweet curb stomp on Finn Balor. Sister Abigail to Hardy on the outside that kind of took him out of it. And we finally got the big old Tower of Doom.
Yeah. There was a moment, it was going to happen, Bray Wyatt breaks it up, and then all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt looks for an opening a little bit later, and that's the moment where things turn on him.
Right.
And it was a double pin, which doesn't happen very often.
So, Denise, your opinion on this? We have Rollins, we have Balor, both getting the pin on Wyatt. So Wyatt's definitely, one thing we know is Bray Wyatt will not be winning the Elimination Chamber this year.
I think it's going to be next week, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor to get that spot. And, I mean, it was pretty predictable.
Yeah.
They still have a week towards Elimination Chamber.
Because they can't make an extra pod. That would make it...
No, there has to be,
yeah, I think
one.
so.
Highlander rules, there can only be one. Somebody's losing a head.
So, I'm going to go to you both. Who will end up in the chamber, and who will have something else for them? Perhaps that's either the chamber or at WrestleMania.
I want to see Finn in the chamber.
Okay.
Only because I'm a Finn fan. I kind of want just to see him more in it. So that's really my reasoning behind this. So I would like to see him get a shot on there.
But at the same time, Seth has lost both his tag team partners. He's kind of on an island by himself right now, in a way.
True.
I think it's going to be Finn in the chamber.
Okay. Finn in the chamber. It sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
Finn in the chamber.
I've heard that Jason Jordan, his surgery went very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, what he had was a disc herniation, and it was as conservative as you can get for a surgery for that. Basically, when it's impinging on a nerve, they go in, they take out the section of the disc that's causing the issue, and then they kind of sew it back up. The only risk you have is down the road when you have one disc herniation, you risk other levels having problems. And down the road, you might be looking at a neck fusion. If that's the case, it's going to be tough. But that's way down the road, and hopefully he's able to rehab, and he'll be perfectly fine.
I think Jordan can modify some of what he does to avoid that. I mean, being an amateur wrestler, you have to do a lot of neck work. But now that he's a professional, he doesn't have to as much, and I think he should change. And what did you just read?
Apparently, while we're on the air, Kurt Angle has announced that both Seth Rollins and Finn Balor are in the chamber.
Oh, there you go.
What?
It just got announced on Facebook Live.
So the extra pod?
Unless you
Or
put
they
them,
start with three in ring.
probably.
And it's triple threat to start, and then all the extra pods. Because you can essentially load as many guys into the ring as you want.
Since you got The Miz already entering first, and then these two is their second chance, they also start in.
Yeah.
So they're at a disadvantage.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Right. But what I was going to say is Jason Jordan's recovery time is said to be very short. So he may make it back in time for WrestleMania.
Yeah, my guess would be 6 to 8 weeks. But at the same time, though, you're going to be a little deconditioned because you can't be doing any overhead activities right now. So, which there's a lot of that in wrestling.
Right.
So,
well, we'll see. If Jordan is cleared, I think Rollins wants first crack.
Yeah.
So that'll be who Rollins
Great comment.
shakes it up with.
Great comment by Bradley Allen. Seventh man got to share the pod with Braun.
Ugh, damn.
That'd be pretty sweet, though.
That would suck.
I'd be so on board with that. But overall, pretty solid Raw. We got the Chamber coming up. What is it, 25th?
25th, yeah.
Okay. So less than 2 weeks away. And then finally, nothing until WrestleMania. Or is there another one? I hope there isn't.
There's a SmackDown. It's got Fast Lane.
Why?
Because they want us to suffer.
Because here's the thing. I know they're already advertising, I guess, the Fatal 4-Way or something. But then you have Nakamura constantly reminding AJ Styles that he's going to beat him at WrestleMania, negating that main event at Fastlane. It's like, just...
It does. I mean, just because Nakamura is preparing for one opponent does not mean that is the opponent he's going to get. Anything is possible in professional wrestling. I think Nakamura is playing his cards in such a way that he believes Styles is going to maintain and retain at Fastlane. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he is going to retain. He could also become injured and have to vacate the title.
True.
No matter what happens, Nakamura is sitting in the catbird seat, and that is the one thing that we have to remember. He is in the spot of comfort and confidence.
Well, we are comfortable and confident in saying thank you for watching the show. Let's all put ourselves over. Denise Salcedo, go!
Yes. All right. So you guys can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at _Denise Salcedo. Also, if you guys are in the Texas area, February 16 and February 17, our Lucha will be there. February 16 in Beaumont, Texas, and February 17 in Humble, Texas. I will be there, so make sure to stop by because they have a lot of incredible talent. And then also on Wednesdays, please do not forget to check out X-Pac 12360. We always have incredible guests, and you don't want to miss this next one. Won't spoil it.
That's right. Mr. Boxcar Superstar, the Hobo.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at True Hobo. Do the NXT podcast every week right after NXT airs live at 6 p.m. Western because we're in California here. And yeah, just stay tuned to the Twitter and all the socials for any activity that I got coming up, including Arizona and Wrestling Pro Wrestling this Thursday. Love the Wrestling Pro Wrestling.
That's right. Let's see, at Jay Quasto. This weekend, well, Valentine's Day, I'm at Morty's in Indianapolis, and then I'm going to be in Louisville all weekend doing shows. If anyone's in Louisville, I'd love to see you. Let me know. I will tell you how to get tickets. Let's see what else. Wrestling and Padres, of course, and go support Jay and his GoFundMe. And I'm proud to say I'm the current UCB Tournament of Nerds champion for my portrayal of Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures last month. But I will not be there this weekend, so I'm going to vacate this title. And I am promised a rematch down the road, but I just want to show off this cool little title since
now that's a company that takes their championship defenses really seriously.
That's right.
WWE should learn something from them.
I got to cut a promo after this, so I figured I'd bring in the title anyway. But and follow Marquia McCarty at Marquia McCarty, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And of course, Tony in the booth. Where they can find you, buddy?
They can find me everywhere at Tony B Dead. TonyBdeed.
Interesting.
Shout out.
That's a very strange Twitter handle, my friend, but I like it.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I love grim things in life, so.
That's why he hangs out with us. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. We love you. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.